This is Jack Beyer, your American narrowboater. Today is April the 18th, 2021. I'm talking to you from Crystal Beach, Florida, and I'm talking to my friends here in the States about what to pack to go to England for a narrowboat holiday. What should you have in that suitcase? Also, some tips about getting around in England from the airports to your boat. Let's get to it.
Ooh, doorbell. I didn't realize it was like that. Hello?
Hey, hi, I'm Jack Beyer, the American narrowboater.
Oh, hey, Jack. How are you?
Yeah, you called. I just thought I'd come on over and discuss your impending trip to England.
Oh, thank you so much. Come on in. Honey, Jack Byers here. The guy from YouTube.
So I've heard you've actually hired a narrowboat.
Yeah, we're super excited. We're going in a couple of weeks, and I appreciate you being willing to give us your expert advice.
And you got your boat where? At Market Harbor?
Yeah, Market Harbor. We have the Little Miss. It's going to be a great boat for the two of us, my wife and I.
Oh, I'm excited for you. Hey, I just wanted to let you know, since you know now what a narrowboat is and you know what the English canal system is from the previous vlogs, this one I just want to talk to you a second about what do you want to bring.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
And I've got some things here that I see. I see your map. That's a good one. I take that along. It's only about 8 pounds in terms of money. I got to be careful about weight. So when you do travel, you want to be very careful about the weight. So this is $17 American. They're good, they're wonderful, but you'll find that almost every canal boat you're on is going to have this map on the wall. It'll be smaller maybe, but it'll be a laminated version of the English canal system. So this is an option. It's a nice option, but again, if you don't want to take it with you, you can buy it there.
Okay, good.
Oh, I love this. By the way, when you go, you got to be careful about your luggage.
Mm-hmm.
If you take the big ones, it's okay if you need that space for all of your clothes. But when you get to the canal boat, you're going to be constrained as to how much room you have. You know, here in the States with the RVs, most guys are putting their luggage underneath the RV. Well, you don't have an underneath a narrowboat. So you're going to have to try to find a place. Where are you going to put that suitcase after you get there?
Yeah, that's a good point because my wife really likes to pack stuff up, and I'm kind of guilty of that myself.
Yeah. Well, I recommend a carry-on, and I try to get all of my clothes down to that. You will have access to laundry facilities, and the best way to find out where those are is you refer to your canal plan or your canal book. Now, on my iPhone, I also have Canal Plan AC, and that will also tell you where the laundry is. So if you don't take a lot, it's okay. You will be able to wash your clothes. Next is your Nicholson. I never travel on the canals without my Nicholson. I love my Nicholson. The other thing is the Pearson. Pearson is okay. It doesn't. I like the maps of the Nicholson better. This is a little more folksy. It tells you a little more of a more romantic version of the towns. It gives you a much warmer feeling about what's in the towns. This is much drier, but in terms of navigation aid, this and Canal Plan AC are the best.
Okay.
Okay, so those are the guides that you're going to need. You going to take any cameras?
Yeah, I was thinking of taking my iPhone, but is that a good idea? Is there something else you recommend?
I think you'll find that the iPhone is great for 70, 80%, if not everything. You can do it on the iPhone. But then I also take an action camera. This happens to be a Hero GoPro LCD. I'll also take a decent camera, SLR camera, with a good zoom, because the zooms on these things aren't as good. You want one with a really good zoom. And I'm also going to take that would be a big option for you, but I take a 360 camera, because I vlog, and I put them on the roof of the boat, and it gives me a nice 360 view so I can do my live streaming.
Oh, that'd be really neat to kind of show everybody the whole scenery as we
Yeah,
come
but
back
if
to
you
the
start
States.
showing those to your friends and neighbors, they're going to kick you out of their house. Let's talk now about laptops and iPads. Yeah, you probably want something like that. It just depends upon what you have. I wouldn't get anything special. When I travel, I take along a MacBook Pro only because of the storage. I have a 3 terabit hard drive, and I can put all of my vlogging videos and all my camera videos. I can upload it on a nightly basis. Plus, it gives me a platform to do my editing on.
Do I need to be careful about any kind of waterproofing or anything for this stuff?
Not more than normal. With your iPhone, if it goes in the canal, that's it. Boom, you're dead. And the phone's dead. With this Hero, for instance, it's good to 20 meters, 28 meters. My 360 camera is good. It's what they call water resistant, not waterproof. So I can leave it up on top of the boat during a rainstorm, but I shouldn't immerse it in water. Moisture really isn't that big a problem.
Okay, cool.
Humidity is, but not moisture. But let's talk about moisture for a minute. It does rain in England, and I say rains a lot. Not hard necessarily, but it rains a lot. So my suggestion is take a very lightweight rain suit. I didn't say raincoat, I said rain suit. You want the pants and the top. Because when you're out on the water in a narrowboat, you're in the elements. And if it rains, and rains suddenly, you're going to want something. Now, I've seen a lot of narrowboaters, when they go through tunnels, they'll put their raincoat on, or at least an umbrella. It's very wet when you go through a tunnel, typically. But we've talked about all this electronic gear, and so now we need to talk about electronics and electricity.
Yeah.
That is electricity in England. This abortion of a plug is what England, and only England, uses to plug into the walls and to plug into the receptacles. On the backside, this particular model is for Americans, and so it's got the 2 prongs. So what I do when I go to England, is I use one of these. And this is a multi-pronged box. It costs you $15, $20. And on the top here, it's got the different countries around the world that it'll work for. So let's put on the UK one. This one is the UK one. And you just slide it down, and out pops the UK receptacle. On the back side is a universal plug-in. So you can plug in American, you can plug in French, and so forth. So let me show you what that looks like. I don't know if you're going to be in France, but just so that you can see, there's the EU plug.
That's neat. That'd be good investment for our future trips.
Yeah, I think so. Now, on the bottom of it, you've got 4 USB ports.
Oh, nice.
And like I said, you only have 1 plug on the back, and that's a big shortfall for this particular device. But if you go out on Amazon, they've got different sizes that have different ports and so forth. For me, what I'll do is at night, plug that sucker in, and then I plug this in. This is a battery backup. And at night, that's going to sit hanging on the wall, or whatever the receptacle is that I'm plugging into. This battery backup contains enough of a charge to recharge my iPhone 7 times from nothing to full charge. And the other thing you want to worry about with one of these, or to keep into account rather, is not just the capacity, but it's also speed. This is a fast charger. It will recharge my iPhone in less than an hour.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, I tell you, in fact, I carry 2 of them when I travel. Okay. The other thing that you're going to want is walkie-talkie. If you're by yourself, and you're not going to be, you don't need a walkie-talkie, but since you're taking with a wife, you know, one of you is going to be driving the boat, and another one is going to be doing the canal's locks, and will be away from the boat. And when you do that, you don't want to call each other on the phone. It's easier just to use a walkie-talkie. You can get a nice set of walkie-talkies with a 2 or 3 mile range for $25, $30.
Oh, that's handy.
Oh, it really is fantastic. Another thing I'd take is a flashlight. You know, they've got those little small flashlights. If you take one from home, you got the weight. It's going to cost, it may weigh as much as a pound. But they're 5 pounds maybe in England, and you can buy one at the marina when you're there.
That's a good idea because I can already picture myself holding my phone's flashlight over the water trying to see something and then dropping it in. So having a little cheapo flashlight's a good idea.
Yeah, they've also got magnet fishing things in the marina, but they're really more of a joke than anything else. We should talk about phone service. Here in the States, the big phone carriers are Verizon and AT&T. And when you're overseas, they both have a plan that's very similar and I think expensive. They've got it's $10 a day. You use your iPhone, unlimited service. You can talk to people in the States. You can talk to people in England. There's no additional charge. It's just $10 a day. And since I use Canal Plan AC on my phone and it uses the GPS, I have to do $10 a day on my phone. I happen to use AT&T.
Well, the price is probably worth it just to make sure you have the same phone service you're used to.
Yeah, but if you don't, I mean, then T-Mobile is the better one because T-Mobile has no charge at all. They exist both as T-Mobile company here in the States as well as in England. If I had it to do over, I'd be using T-Mobile. Whew, so we've talked about what to pack. Everything else is really, it's up to you. People in the UK have it easy. All they do is they jump in their car and they drive to the marina. And when they do, they're taking their little baggies of sugar and salt and laundry detergent and so forth. You don't have that option. But let's talk about how you're going to get to your boat.
Oh, good idea.
Your closest international airport is Tampa?
Yeah, I live in the Tampa Bay area, so I'd go to TIA.
Okay, so do I. So I fly out of Tampa International, TPA. There are 2 nonstop flights on British Airways to London, Gatwick, and that's an important thing I want to talk to you about. In England, you've got 2 major international airports in the London area. Then you've got the big international airports in Birmingham and Manchester and other places, Liverpool. But the Manchester, Birmingham, and London airports are the big ones for people flying in and out of the States. For some reason, Manchester and Birmingham are always way more expensive than London. So now you got London, and you've got 2 chances there. You go Heathrow or you go Gatwick. I always fly to Gatwick, and the reason is I don't want to do what I call the London 2-step. Now, when you're flying, first thing I do is I fly overnight. I do what they call the red eye, where you leave around 7 in the evening and you get there around 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning.
It's a good idea. You get to sleep on the flight.
You do. You get two meals, 2 movies, and a sleep. So when you arrive, you're halfway relaxed. You're halfway ready. You get your suitcase. You go through customs. Now what? If you land in Heathrow, you want to take the train to wherever your marina is, in this case, Market Harborough. Heathrow is going to take you into London. And when you get to London, there are 4 different train depots. Chances are you're going to have to change. You're going to come into Piccadilly or someplace, or you're going to come in, and then you're going to have to jump in a cab or take the subway, what they call the tubes, to the next place, Eustis maybe. Do you want to schluck your luggage?
No. I'm going to be tired from the flight, and I don't want to carry all my stuff.
I mean, you could take it up to the street and take a cab, or you could go through the subway, but you don't want to do that. And if you're landing at 7, 8 in the morning, that's rush hour. And you don't want to be on a crowded commuter train with all your luggage. What I suggest is you go to Gatwick, because Gatwick has trains that transfer not in London, but in Reading. And that way you get to the train, you're going from Gatwick, in, so it's not a biggest crowd as you're going to get if you're going in Heathrow. You're going to take a train to Reading, and there you're going to make your first connection. Simple, easy to do. Speaking of trains in England are a great national treasure. We don't have anything like that here in the States. Everybody drives their car or takes a plane from city to city. We don't have the ability to go use a train that way. There are exceptions. There's the train that runs from LA to San Francisco is halfway decent, and the Metroliner from Washington on up to Boston, that's very similar to what you'll find in England. Very nice accommodations, clean, really well run. So what I do when I book my train fare is I use a website called trainline.com, and you can see that right down below.
How'd you do that in real life? I thought that was just a camera trick you guys did. Must be a blogger thing.
Yeah, it is. So we vloggers, we got all kinds of magic. Anywho, you're going to use Trainline. Now the downside is you can only buy tickets 6 months in advance, no more than 6 months in advance. So you have to wait pretty much closer to your trip. The next thing is if you buy your train tickets through Trainline, they have different pricing structures. And you can get to wherever you're going for 22 pounds, 30 pounds. I think a Market Harborough is probably going to cost you 50 pounds, maybe. Maybe you can get it cheaper. I'm just pulling the numbers out. With Trainline, they have rail tickets. Now, there are rail passes and rail tickets. Rail pass on British Rail, to me, is a ripoff. They're very expensive, and you have to be in England for over a month and travel almost every day for it to pay. Trainline, however, has got a rail ticket. And the rail ticket, they've got one for seniors, and they've got one for you. It might cost you 30 pounds, 30 to 40 pounds. But that gives you 30% off of every ticket you buy through Trainline.
Oh, cool.
Then you've got to buy it through Trainline because as an American, you aren't eligible for it if you buy it in England.
Oh, okay.
They won't sell it to you. But Trainline will sell it to you, and, I guess they don't realize you're an American when they do it because they let you do it. What you want to do is get on Trainline. You're going to type in under your fare, you're going to type in your dates of travel, just like you do with any one of these sites that does not registration. What am I thinking of? Booking. Reservations. Just like you'd find on any reservation site. And what you'll do is you'll plug in London Gatwick, and you're going to put in Market Harborough. It'll show you the dates and the times. It shows you your connections. I believe you're going to take the train from Gatwick to Reading, Reading to Birmingham, Birmingham to Market Harborough. I would assume that would be, you'd have 2 connections.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
If you take the train, it's going to be about 2 or 3 hours. And when you get to Market Harborough, you want to get on Airbnb or whatever the site is that you want to use. I love Airbnb. That's what I do. And look for a good place to stay in Market Harborough. I recommend the Three Swans, and that's because it's a Best Western affiliated place, so it's going to be clean, it's going to be fresh. Plus, it's upstairs to an excellent pub.
Oh, nice.
And it's only about a block away from the harbor where you're going to get your boat. I'm assuming you're getting the boat out of Union Wharf.
Yeah, that's what was recommended. That's
very, very close. And you're going to want to get groceries, and it's like maybe not even a half a mile walk up the other way to a number of great grocery stores, the Sainsbury's, the Aldi's, all of their number one grocery stores.
Perfect. So we can save some money on cab fare by just walking over, getting our stuff, and then walking to the marina.
Right. And if you do fly, I recommend that you fly on a Wednesday evening. You leave Tampa around 5 o'clock in the evening. You get to Gatwick at around 7:30, 8 in the morning. You're going to get to Market Harborough at around 10, 11 in the morning. Then just go to the pub, have a beer, and crash.
Don't have to tell me twice.
You'll arrive on a Thursday. So you're going to stay there Thursday night. If your boat rental is Friday, then that morning you get up and you go to Sainsbury's or the grocery store. If it's not, then you can tour around, and that's what we do. We'll take Friday off, and that'll just be a day to see Market Harborough and the surrounding area. And we'll do a tour of the harbor and of the marina itself, and look at all the boats that are for sale, and just have a nice relaxing day Friday while our biological clocks reset. Then on Saturday, assuming it's a Saturday rental, Saturday morning, go to the grocery store. You've got all morning to do it because you won't get your boat until noon at the earliest, and more likely 2 o'clock. That just pretty well gets you there. When you're done, you're going to just do all of this in reverse. You're going to come back to Market Harborough. You're going to in that case, you're probably going to catch an afternoon train or a morning train even and go right back to the airport at Gatwick. And in Gatwick, there is another excellent hotel. In the hotel, it's not in the airport itself, and you're going to have to take a cab or an Uber to it. Now, they'll deliver you there the next day, but set it up so that you're leaving out of England on Sunday. Now, I would wait a week. I'd wait 2 weeks. I'd have some fun in England if you're going to be over there. But I'm just saying, once you're done canal boating, you're going to want to take your train connection to wherever else you're going in England. And again, you're going to go to London, you're going to go to Manchester, you want to go to Leicester. I mean, there's lots of places and things for you to see and do. You got any questions? I think I've covered everything I needed to cover today.
I'm super excited, and I'm super thankful
I'm
came
excited
out.
for you.
Yeah. My question is, how can I pay you back? What's your favorite beer out there?
Well, the favorite beer I have in England, they don't even make them anymore. I like Speckled Hen and Old Fiddler and these things, just like here in the States where all the beers are being bought up by these mega breweries. I guess Marston's would be the closest. I like it. You're going to find that just like here in the States where they've got all of these brew pubs, they've got them there too. You're going to have a lot of fun touring the different pubs. So if you want to pay me back, take photos of the pubs you're in. Let me know what your favorites are.
Definitely will do. The wife loves Insta, so we'll get in there.
Well, thanks. I enjoyed talking to you today.
Thanks, Mr. Jack. I appreciate you coming by.
I'll catch you later and enjoy your trip.
Definitely will.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the American Narrowboater. We had a lot of fun doing that, my elder son and I. This is Jack Byer, your American Narrowboater, saying if you liked this vlog, please, down below, leave me a like or comments. I love the comments. Subscribe if you're interested. And there's a little bell icon that you can click, and that will tell you when the next vlog comes out. Well, this is Jack Byer, your American Narrowboater, saying have a great weekend. Bye now.